Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Kyle the Worst. As always, with me, right next to me on the left, every single time is
Moon.
Fuck Terrence on Instagram. You guys are watching The Worst Show. Today, I have a super, super special guest.
Special place in my
That's
heart.
two specials. Two specials for a reason.
And one super.
He not only used to be my boss, but he also is an inspiration to entrepreneurs who just want to go and do their own thing. With us is Tyler Willy.
Hello.
You were the director of how I was supposed to be working. Let's say that.
So you joined the team, and I think it was kind of one of those things. Like right off the bat, it was like a connection. It was
Yeah.
cool, and
All I remember was this was the team I wanted to be on, and then
Yeah,
lo and
just
behold, that was the team I
chill.
got to be on.
the work's gonna get done, but the work you did sucked.
Yeah,
But it's like, how can we make it fun? How can we?
right. Could you tell that it sucked for me?
Yes.
I-
More so than others.
Yeah, I feel like I struggled, but that's never been my forte. Was like the box office work type stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it seemed like everybody else got along pretty well.
Yeah, it was kind of high pressure there at the end, and we can talk about mortgages. But
Yeah,
just lots of people freaking out because like that's when you get your key. That's when sellers get their money.
yeah, and that's
And-
where we were in
and
the
that's where we
position that we were. We were closing those deals.
Lots of pressure on that part of the
Yeah.
process.
You know, my favorite part of all of it
Hmm.
was talking to title ladies.
Yeah.
They were.
Nicest.
It was my goal
They-
was
well,
to
they
be the
could-
sweetest person
They
ever
had
to
a
them.
range.
Oh yeah.
You can get some that you're like, you talk to humans. Like,
Yeah,
where
like
you were
this?
the worst person in the world.
100%. No, it was wild.
Yeah.
But eventually I ended up leaving, and I told you, and then it was interesting because I ran into you the following week.
Yeah. So I think I left before you though, right?
Uh,
I think I was a week before.
Really? Oh, well, I remember my last Friday, that following Monday, I went to Teller's,
Mm-hmm.
and you had told me that you had just left HR's
Maybe that's
or something like that.
yeah, that's
Or
right.
Schematics.
you're like right
Schematics.
there,
But yeah, basically left at the exact same
So, yeah,
time.
June of 21. So
Yeah.
coming up on 2 years.
And you decided to follow your dream as well,
Yeah,
which was
My dream is I love cars. I just kind of I grew up with trucks and tractors, and then Fast and Furious came out,
yeah,
and it's the cheesiest like movie franchise out there.
Family.
But I still go to the theaters to watch it because of the place it has in my heart.
Nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Transformers with me. I'm absolutely in love with Transformers.
Yeah.
And not only watching it, but like
Like,
falling
even the
asleep
new
to
ones?
it. What?
Even like the newer ones?
They got new ones?
The Mark Wahlberg
mean-
ones.
Yeah.
What?
That was like
No, I'm
Those have
stuck
been
in Shia LaBeouf days.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
I'll say yeah.
With the Megan
You're
Fox.
still in the prime times. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's,
I'm
just holding on to
that
it.
along with like Fast and Furious has gotten so just
it's just
It's-
it's like people keep going. So I
Yeah.
guess the money's there, so they just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Fast
I
and
mean-
Furious. They're like in space and shit now.
Yeah.
They're not even
They're
racing
flying
anymore.
spaceships
dog.
with
They literally,
spoilers on it.
Had, the
Yeah.
last one they had a car that like
Dropped out of space.
rockets on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Went out to space.
I'm like, we're not even racing
That's
cars anymore.
kinda dope.
Was it Ludacris that went to space?
Really?
I think.
I think so.
All right, I'm going to have to watch
Yeah, you
these.
have to watch. I think it's 9 or whatever they call it now.
It's like so bad that it's good. It's like one of those.
Okay.
Just lots of action.
Remember,
Yeah, yeah,
remember the series, the Sharknado series?
Mm.
It was like obviously terrible.
I never watched any of those.
I didn't
I
either. But they made like 4 of them.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those shows that was like so bad that like
So
people just kept
cringe
watching.
that-
Yeah.
I
That
feel
was like
that.
a straight to sci-fi though too, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
It was a time.
But no, there was just like that thing there. It's like you were one of the first people I thought of after because I was like, like content's so big right now.
Yeah.
And you and I remember you talking about The Worst. You're like, man, I don't know, like it's such kind of stupid name. This is when we still worked.
Yeah.
And you're like, I hate this name. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like that's what's cool about it. It's
This is the complete
it's like
opposite of
the
anything.
anti.
Yeah.
Like it's not the best. It's the worst. But it's
Yeah.
that's the play on words. And
Right. And it,
I don't want to take credit. For
No,
talking-
yeah.
I think you were pretty much dead set on it, but
But it was
yeah, I
also
remember you
up
having
in
a
the
day
air.
when
yeah.
you were just like, I
unsure
just
about
don't know if I
everything.
like this name. I
Yeah.
might change it. Like, don't do it, man.
Just keep it.
That's how-
Roll with it.
Now
Yeah.
we're on The Worst Show.
Yeah, exactly. The Worst Show podcast. We started throwing that
Worst
at the
Show
end of it. Yeah. No,
some
even
swag.
down to like taking my sticky notes that I would go out into the like closet, bring one back, and I would just start drawing logo designs. just throughout the day. I probably did that more than I
I like
worked. I'll be
the
honest.
drawing you had of your face. Do you still
Yeah.
use that anywhere?
It's like the retro throwback
Yeah.
design.
Need a shirt with that.
Yeah, I do have a shirt with that on it, but
Oh.
it's in storage. We're not trying to like sell anything
Yeah.
right now. I guess we could, but just want to
Yeah.
grow a little bit more
Yeah.
before anything. But yeah,
Yeah.
so you saw me, thought content.
Yeah.
And
I liked your work, and kind of started. We kind of did it like once every like month or every other month or
Yeah.
something. Kind of.
it was just kind of like here and there. Whenever
Mhm.
you called, we would
Yeah.
set it up for a week in advance or 2 weeks in
Yeah.
advance, and then
And then it was like projects started moving, company started moving.
Yeah.
Content behind, can't
Yeah.
just sit there and, hey, I'm on a camera. But,
Right.
you can, you got to have something behind it. So then once we started getting more stuff in there,
it
And we've
became
got,
a full
all
time.
the way down to a video every other Friday, which was today.
So you
Yeah.
guys have been working together since you guys quit.
Yeah,
pretty
well,
much.
we were working
Oh.
together before.
Oh,
he
I thought it didn't start until after.
he was like, I was on his team
Yeah.
at the company.
No, I mean like with just like the GKR
With,
stuff.
Yeah, GKR
Oh, yeah.
and the worst. Yeah, ever since. Yeah,
Ever
well,
since the very beginning of it starting.
You're the first person I thought of for the content part of it. 'Cause,
Okay, that's
The
cool.
video, the YouTube, and the cool fact.
Well, it was just like, I like to think that I made it known what my real passion was.
Well, I mean, that's for me, like, entrepreneurism, all that mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
I've been to all these conferences through my previous company. They'd take you out and these leadership conferences. You always notice like passion's the big thing they always talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You have to at least enjoy not maybe like the nitty gritty work, the typing on the computer, but like the passion of what you're
Yeah, the
accomplishing.
purpose of it all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
purpose. And that's kind of what I tried to push. In our previous.
And that's exactly how it worked.
And then now that we actually have a little more freedom with our passion,
Yeah.
we're making some pretty cool stuff.
Well, so what made you decide to leave?
For me, I'd always kind of like thought about it.
Yeah.
I'd always wanted to. So I watch a lot of car shows. Like Fast and Loud. Richard Rawlings. He's one of my. I don't know how to put it because, as far as like a person, he kind of rubs me the wrong way sometimes.
Yeah.
But his business, as far as translating it into a car business into a moneymaker,
Mm-hmm.
and the content and just like the cool factor, I've adapted that to what I do, and I was like, I can do the same thing here, and it just kind of one of those things. Year after year went by,
Yeah.
get in that comfortable position at the where we were.
Right. What's their great?
I enjoyed
at
where I
doing.
work. It was a cool place to work. I mean,
Yeah.
they took care of you, but I just got too comfortable, and I noticed it. I noticed that more than ever now.
Yeah.
How comfortable I had gotten, and
How
how it was
so?
kind of hard to transition.
Yeah.
The making the jump to leave
Yeah.
was the easiest thing I've done in the last 2 years by far. That like they always say making the jump
Yeah.
from your 9 to 5 to starting a business is the hardest thing you'll ever do. I'm like, hell no, that's the easiest thing I've
Right.
done in the last 2 years. It's the starting the business and doing it in the grind and
Oh yeah, dude.
like I said, it's like you were talking about running a mile.
In 5.
Yeah, in 5 minutes. I had gotten mentally kind of like comfortable and out of shape,
Yeah, like you
because-
just thought you could at any moment.
Yeah,
you
because
know
like
what I
the
mean?
passion was there, like the idea, because we know we do EV motors in old cars. We take old cars, convert them over to electrics. One of our
Yeah.
big like kind of different things we do. We do regular builds as well, but that's one of the kind of cool things we do. I had the idea, but it was like when I finally did it, I realized like I'm out of shape mentally, man. Like this
Right.
is tough.
It
Like,
takes a whole new
12 and
level
a
of
half
exercise.
years from 9 to 5 of just kind of building a process there and just letting the process rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
You kind of mentally kind of get out of it. So the last 2 years have been a lot of like personal building and it's like processes in the morning, getting up, doing this, doing that. We just had our 3rd kid, and
Right.
that
Yeah, congrats,
just
by the way.
this thing
Congratulations.
that just adds to it. It's like I want to be that young spry 23-year-old that had all these dreams at the time of doing this. 'Cause,
Right.
I've always wanted to start my own business. Kind of come from a family of business owners and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just kind of one of those things. I it just it just felt right. I was ready to do it. And,
Do you ever regret not starting sooner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what's funny because, I've always been around, the content of, entrepreneur content of like, I want it to feel right.
Right.
And every time people always say, I wish I'd done it sooner. Wish I'd done it sooner.
It's like you're
Well,
waiting for perfect
wishing I had
timing.
done it sooner.
Yeah.
Well, it's all about that perfect timing
Yeah.
and that comfortability level. Like,
Yeah.
that place is designed to make people stay there forever
Yeah.
and become.
That's why they treat you so
I mean,
good.
just
Yeah.
like where he used to work at, the second biggest in
Yeah.
Missouri, right?
Yeah.
So he's coming from the same kind of like structure as us, where you're given a lot of work, but you're also given all the perks.
Yeah.
And those perks are what make you stay.
Yep.
Did you had perks?
Yeah.
A lot
yeah.
of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That was
yeah,
the number one perk, but
yeah, and it's just like at some point it's just like it's not feeding the itch. It's not doing it for you.
it's not fulfilling you at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like the stress levels like are higher now, but it's so different.
It's different 'cause it's
so,
like-
Yeah.
I
'Cause you're
know
passionate
I'm
about
building
it.
something and I'm passionate about
Yeah.
it.
It's different whenever you're doing shit like that's stressful that you don't want to be doing versus stuff that like you love to do.
Yeah. Like tomorrow, today's Friday, tomorrow's Saturday. After the kids go to bed, I go down and work from like 8 till 1 o'clock in the shop, turn the music up, and just go to town. I take like a double espresso, go
Just
down
go.
and go. I would never ever think of working on mortgages from 8 till 1 o'clock
Yeah.
in the
Listen,
morning.
I'll tell you one thing that I was extremely proud about with myself was the days where I would come in first before the sun came up and I was there last. Not because I was working hard, but because
Yeah.
I was slow. And so it was like that discipline, knowing this is how long it's literally going to take me to get this shit done.
Yeah.
And so I would just do it, but it was like a satisfying feeling at the same time because I'm like, I'm working my ass off. I'm working longer hours, but it's not because I'm better than anybody. It's just because this is what I got to do to get this done.
Yeah.
Now it's like, shit, I can wake up at 11 o'clock any day I want now. It's just up to me to do it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, like nobody's going to call me and be like, hey, you didn't show up for work today anymore. So it's like the passion is what wakes you up now.
Mhm.
And that's what I love about like going off on a tangent of you get to do what you want now.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to decide that
Yep.
you're really going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where like the mentally being out of shape, there were days when I was just like zero motivation. I wasn't tired. It was just like, I don't want to go down there right now. And it's tough, like
Yeah.
you have to show up for work
Yeah.
at 9 to 5. Like you have to show up for work.
Yeah,
You
there's
can't
no
just-
option.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take a PTO.
And I learned a lot through some of those days that, it's like you just gotta like quit being a little Dia, like just go down there and do it. Like this is what you decided to do.
Yeah.
Like live with it.
I feel like a
And
lot
now
of
it's
times,
easy. And now it's like
as I'd say that, a
Yeah.
lot of times, like after you do it, it's like rewarding after you do it,
Yeah.
especially like when you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's just like a way more.
and a lot of that
rewarding
was in
feeling.
the first 6 months.
Yeah.
I think overall, like I didn't see it as a sabbatical, but I did see it as like I need a break after 12 and a half years of mortgages.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially at the time that I was there. Those 12 and a half years are probably the literal busiest years
Yeah.
of being in the mortgage
With the
industry.
most drastic change, probably, too.
And yeah, I mean, 3 major like, RESPA. Have you heard that word in a while?
Yeah.
Changes.
What the fuck is that?
Major like federal
Trauma.
changes and all that stuff. Yeah, no, I kind of like got a little shake from saying that word, but it was just and it was a lot. I mean, lots of change, and I think I did kind of say like the first 6 months, like I'm gonna set out the business, set the table for it, get all that kind of stuff set up.
Yeah.
We had the Viper at the time. I was
Right.
kind of slowly working on it, doing this and that, but it was like the passion was there, but the motivation some days were just really tough, and it was just like a weird.
It's a
6
weird
months.
spot to be in. It's
Yeah.
almost just like what is that, default mode?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Where you just got to show up, got to get it done, got to go home.
Find that new process, because the old process I had worked for,
Yeah.
the old
And
job.
now the change to you is, I mean, you're an entrepreneur now, like officially. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
What is that like for you now?
Yeah, so I love being able to use like the part of my mind I wasn't able to, the creative side.
Yeah.
Both with, just the marketing, like the cars are like what I love, but for me, it's not so much working on the cars, it's designing the cars and working with customers and finding what they love. Because there are people that I show, like I'm like, hey, here's a car I think you would like, and I show them on my phone. They're like, I've never seen that car before. Like, what is that? And I'm like, explain it to them. I'm gonna buy. I want one of those. So like those are the times I enjoy working with customers when they don't know what they want. We do these interviews.
You help figure
I just
it
get
out
on
for
FaceTime
them.
with them or whatever, and we kind of talk about like, what do you want out of this car? Like, I just want something to drive one Sunday a month.
Right.
Or I want something to be a daily, but if I want to take it out to the track, I can take it out to the track on the
Right.
weekend. So, okay, we go down that road. So I like that. And then just the marketing, the business building, like the content producing. Like,
Well, I mean, you already have 2 employees.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like within how many years?
So October 1st of 21 is when we launched the brand officially. So not even at 2 years, year and a half right now.
Yeah, which is to have any employees
Yeah.
within that amount of time is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, the first year I did it without employees. And
Yeah, it was just me and you.
Nothing moved.
I wasn't doing any car work. I don't know
Yeah.
shit or dick about cars,
Yeah,
but
you might have turned a wrench one time.
yeah, maybe. I stood on one of the step stools. I definitely sat down
Yeah.
every once in a while.
Made sure
Yeah.
our stools were safe.
And all the cars are badass. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like for me personally, like I'm a big manifest type of person. And like those are cars that not many people get to just be around whenever. And so being around those all the time for me is like it's helping me manifest this destiny of I want a car like that someday.
Yeah.
Like I can work around this. I'm comfortable around it. Now it can actually be achievable.
Well, that's actually why I'm doing this, so I get to play with the cool cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like my wife would never let me have a Viper, or let me have a Shelby Cobra,
Yeah.
or
Just the Corvette.
a Lotus. Yeah, I got the Corvette. I got that. I talked her into that.
Yeah.
But all these cars. It's like, but if I own a car company, maybe I can.
Yeah,
have
you
all
can
the
get away.
cars.
It's
Yeah.
the loophole.
It's the loophole. It's
Sorry,
my job.
babe.
That's
It's
what I
my
do.
job.
So, no, but one day I do want a collection, but right now we're just focused on the building. But yeah, I mean, it's just, it's the business building, the marketing. I love, I went to Barrett Jackson, which I don't know if it's like the biggest car auction like out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
The
like
one you see on TV.
yeah. You might have seen me on TV if you watched it. You're up on the block.
You should have got it TiVoed or whatever
Well,
it's
it's on
fucking
history,
called now.
and I have
Oh yeah.
YouTube TV, and they don't have freaking History Channel.
What?
Yeah, I know. It drives me crazy, but I don't mind saving $50 a month.
Right.
But yeah. So I went to that, and it's like a millionaire's playground there. I mean, everybody walking around in Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Look at me. And I went there just to kind of get an idea for like, what's everybody doing, because I wanted to do the opposite of that.
Right.
There were a few trends that I saw, stuff you may not, know much about, but like a lot of people were doing different colors on like the engine bay that are like flat colored paint, rather than and then the shiny on the outside, the gloss. And I was like, man, there's just everybody's doing that this year. It's kind of
Like
weird.
what? How do you?
I don't want to do that. So
Right.
we're going to do something different, because I don't really want to like fall into line with what everybody else is doing. Like that's what we're trying to do is build different things, because there's lots of car shops out there. So
all doing a bunch of things.
building old Camaros, old Corvettes. I mean,
But as long as you're like sticking to true to what you want to do, it's like if you pick up the following just from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and that's and even with the employees, it's like they're always rolling their eyes, because I'm like, that bolt doesn't look right. And they're like, the bolt. I'm like, yeah, like let's change to this bolt. Like, yeah, we're gonna have to wait 2 days for it, but like,
I mean, it's
it just doesn't.
the
look
devil's
right.
in the details,
Yeah.
right?
So
It's okay to be meticulous.
just putting our stamp on things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of stamps,
Oh yeah.
you got these nice little glasses right here. What's in them?
This is some good bourbon from here in Missouri.
Yeah.
Ben Holiday.
Ben Holiday.
Pretty good stuff.
I want to try it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'll drink his
Somebody
too.
will drink it.
Yeah,
It's
why
good.
not? What's wrong with it? You're too good for it. I see how it is.
my body will fold in half.
Damn, was I supposed to drink that? More than, one
You see, you look like you're struggling.
It's 114 proof. You got to sip.
Oh, that's it? No, I'm just kidding. I'll finish this afterwards. No,
Do it
yeah,
now.
you like bourbon. What were you going to say?
Do it now.
What? No, hold on.
Thought you were a
Give me-
man.
Fuck you. You want half of it?
Today
No,
on
you
the
gotta do the whole
worst
thing.
Podcast. You get really, really drunk.
Man
It
up.
wouldn't be the first time I got super fucked up on this podcast. We got episodes we're not airing. 'Cause I was way too drunk. Yeah. You like
Fuck.
bourbon and tequila. Are those your two favorites?
Bourbon. I mean, tequila for me is more of like in a Topo Chico. My favorite water.
Sponsored by Topo Chico.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. We're just foreshadowing.
But yeah, Topo Chico with tequila.
Yeah.
It's really good with some lime.
You always had something to drink in your drawers at work back in the day.
Yeah,
You just
I mean,
airing them out.
I made
Oh,
his,
so you just airing them out now.
No,
I made
like
his- I made his,
there's
the
like
Coke,
gifts and stuff
Coke
too.
Machine, remember
Yeah.
the Coke machine.
Yeah, it was-
margaritas
I mean-
that I would make.
You at that job, I think it's safe to say that you needed to drink if
Yeah.
you worked there. Like,
I could get a sense, and I'd go, and I think it was so we had one of those freestyle machines
yeah,
that makes
you know what that
like,
is?
No.
50 different Coke
Yeah.
products, like everything they make.
It's got
Everything
every
Coke has.
flavoring and every sody.
Okay.
So I'd do like
What'd you say?
Sody.
limeade, Sprite,
Like
and
a
then I'd pour a shot of
black
tequila.
grandma.
It was like it was a delicious margarita. It was almost like a Gatorade margarita.
Yeah.
This is what it tasted like,
And,
but it was delicious.
I'd make that for us.
Yeah.
And no one was getting drunk off of it.
Yeah, no,
It was
the
just-
only reason I brought up that is because I was always, whenever nobody else was there, you were always like, you can have a drink. And
Yeah.
that just turned into, every other day-ish.
You were
I
just
would have
fucked
it.
up at work, huh?
No.
Well, when you're there for that long, they kind of made rules like no alcohol.
Yeah.
I just had alcohol on my desk.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just wait until they tell me to take it away.
And I was the person that never
like-
really
like-
gave a shit about getting in
Yeah.
trouble.
It's like, where you can fire me. And I've been waiting
Yeah.
for this.
Right. Oh, yeah. Air it out. Get it off my chest.
Yeah.
Well, hell
But
yeah.
bourbon's my favorite.
Tequila. I'm tequila all the way.
Yeah.
That was delicious, though. For sure.
Yeah, it's really good for a Missouri bourbon. Like
Yeah, it was really
they're going
it's
places.
good.
maybe we'll do a barrel with them or something.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. Do you have any future plans where you think you're predestined to end up with GKR motor cars?
Yeah, so right now it's kind of getting hot and heavy. We're doing a car condo.
Yeah,
Heard of a car condo? So think of like
explain it.
condos, like a house condo stacked next to each other. But instead of houses that you live in, they're shops that you can pretty much do whatever you want. So like they're more geared towards guys that want like a shop to like have a man cave.
Yeah,
More so. So the one, for example, the one that we're going to have as our showcase one to kind of like, tour people through.
right.
So they're 22 feet tall. Right now they're like 28 feet by like 32 to 36.
Yeah.
You'll be able to put lifts in there so you can get, multiple cars.
And work
So,
on.
Yeah.
If you
Work
need to.
on them or stack them and store your cars if you have like 2, 3, 4 cars that you want to like a collection that you want to store.
Yeah.
And with the higher ceilings, you can put a loft up top to where you can do. So we're going to do like a wet bar up there and like a pool table with like a spiral staircase to get up to it. They've got a bathroom. They all come with a bathroom with the urinal.
Yeah,
So,
You gotta have a urinal.
Why not have a urinal? And yeah.
man cave status.
And then we're going to put like a like one of those golf simulators down there.
that would be
with the
dope.
screen. So like,
Yeah, no, I mean that's a
turns
big
into,
future too.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that it's going to be here in town in Columbia. Get away from the house. There's lots of people out there, that have a house in a subdivision, and they either it's a small lot, they don't have room for a shop, or they have 2 or 3 acre lot, then they don't have the HOA approval to build a shop.
Right.
But they want a shop just to like. Because sometimes you just want to leave the house. Like I mean,
Yeah.
even if you're not a car person, you probably like want an escape from the house.
100%.
Why wouldn't
Just
that,
a man cave.
Yeah, it just whatever.
Well, and yeah, if you think about like, if I had a super nice car
Mm-hmm.
or multiple,
Yeah.
I would want to put them somewhere that's not right next to me, so I could travel to go to them and
Yep.
throw parties
And
or
yeah,
some
you
shit
can,
like that.
Especially you use it as a write-off to where you can like entertain clients. I
Yeah.
mean, like a car you never drive, like a Lamborghini, Ferrari. If you're trying to
Mhm.
impress people, just put one of those on a car lift
Yeah,
and have a golf simulator and have a bar upstairs.
Yeah.
Like you'd sell whatever you're trying to sell to them.
exactly. It's
Um,
good business marketing for
and,
others
you know,
as well.
We provide the security, the shop, the HOA. It's like just like a regular HOA with your
Yeah,
regular condo association. Mow, clean out snow if you want to.
yeah. Anything you want to.
Probably don't want to drive your Lamborghini in the snow, but I've seen videos.
I do donuts in the snow in anything.
Hey, if we become one of these like YouTube sensations,
Yeah.
and we're making millions for doing stupid stuff with the really expensive
Whistling
cars,
diesel.
yeah, I'd
Yeah.
wreck a Lamborghini.
I would too. I'll wreck a
You wanna
Lamborghini
film
right
me wrecking
now.
a Lamborghini in
Let's
the
go.
snow?
Let's. I'm just kidding. We don't need to steal anything.
We don't. We didn't make that much. We don't make that much money.
Not yet.
But yeah,
We have in the future. As a
We have
personal
in the
trainer, I
future.
used to always tell clients that it's like the reps are already done in the future, and it pissed them off more than anything. So I made it my like quote with my picture that was framed. It's like it's done in the future, and
done
I'm just
in
like
the future.
looking like a giant douchebag.
Huh.
It was perfect. But
Well, I just got on the Jordan train. I just watched Last Dance recently again.
yeah,
Have you ever seen that? The Last Dance.
The Last Dance. No, I never
It was
seen
like
The
an
MJ documentary.
Oh no,
Got the Jordans on and everything.
really?
It's on the last episode they talk about like what makes Jordan so good is that he doesn't think about what happens if I miss the shot.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't believe he's gonna miss. Like,
Right.
and like that's like helped my stress so much. I'm like, gosh dang it. When I watched this the first time, I worked at that place. I had a 9 to 5. But when I watch it this time, I see it so much differently
It's
through
a different
lens.
mentality.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit! Like,
This
why am I
makes so much
stressing?
more
Like,
sense now.
Yeah.
a lot of the big decisions I made in my life have been right.
Yeah.
Like, why am I stressing
Gut
out
instinct.
freaking much about everything? Like, I know what I'm doing. Like, just trust the process.
Yeah.
So,
Humans are just
we've
like
got-
that though.
yeah, we've got these 2 big builds coming up, and there's so much cash in them. It's just like,
Stressed because you're
Jeez.
selling them too.
yeah,
So it's like they
Yeah.
gotta sell. you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But they will sell because they're badass because you put the time,
Yeah.
you put the talent and the energy and all of the shit into it. But like our human brains often forget all that stuff.
Yeah.
And go, but all it is.
but what
it's-
if?
Yeah.
What if it doesn't sell for that much?
Yeah.
Like, what happens? And you got to be smart. You can't just spend money on a business and
Just
hope.
hope.
Like,
hope.
There's plenty of hope, but there's also strategic. There's a trying to it. There's a something that you have to do right.
Absolutely.
But that's the same thing with that shot with Jordan. Like, he wasn't just good at basketball; he worked at it. Like,
Yeah.
like
To build that
Yeah,
confidence
and in
in
that
it.
last, in the last dance, it's so weird why I even watched it because I haven't watched. It was just on, and there was so much about it that like I was like, man, this just like speaks so
Resonates.
differently to me now
Yeah.
as a business owner than it did just as a fan. But like in the early days, he was like the best basketball player before he won the championships.
Mhm.
But the Detroit Pistons were always in the way
Right.
because they just threw him around.
Yeah.
And then when he finally decided to like, bulk up and fight back, that's when they started winning the championships. Because he
Right.
realized what he had to do and he had to work harder. And I've been getting up at 4:30 now instead of 5:30.
Damn.
And
See, fuck all that.
yeah.
Time's winding down on us. We're
Yeah.
gonna close this out. Do you have any advice or words of wisdom you'd like to give to anybody, kind of like in the position that is relative to where you were and where you're at?
Yeah, find a process, match it with what you're passionate about. Passion's number one. You gotta love what you're doing if you're gonna make that jump, and enjoy it.
That's our show. Tyler Willy, everybody.
Really.
Yeah, the worst show for artists and entrepreneurs and everybody else.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's
Let's get this thumbnail.
thumbnail.